r/NoStupidQuestions. Creus says, parents of Reddit, is the first month or so with a new baby really that bad? My wife and I are having our first any day now, and we've been taking a birth and parenting class. The teacher has done a great job of scaring the crap out of me. The last class was about the first couple of months and the gist of it is we'll be so busy and so exhausted that we'll literally have no time/energy for anything else. Is it really that bad, or is the teacher just trying to prepare us for the worst case scenario? Sun Accessory 30-22 says, it's only that bad if you attempt to hold yourselves to the same standards you held pre-baby. Assume you will get nothing done. Assume you will not always be fresh as a daisy. Showering might happen every day, or it might not. Maybe you realize at 7 PM you forgot to brush your teeth. The dishes won't stay kept up. The laundry will suffer. Let that shit go. Your focuses for the first quarter are these things: your health, baby's needs. And yes, I put your health first, deliberately. You can't take care of your child if you're not well. Sleep when baby sleeps. To hell with the dishes. Get paper plates for a while. Make bigger meals now and freeze your leftovers in meal prep containers that you can throw in the microwave for a quick meal when you're too tired to cook. And then recycle or pitch that container. It's okay. Mother Earth already forgives you. Smoothies will provide you with hydration and nutrients, and you can sip them while you rock/feed the baby. It will give you more time to sleep. When baby sleeps, be okay with wearing the same clothes for days. Pro tip, take that smelly 3-day-old t-shirt and swaddle baby in it. They'll sleep better having your scent next to them. The stinkier, the better. Believe it. I raised 4 babies. At one point they were all under the age of 7. It got much easier when I let go of my iron grip on maintaining my previous standards of living for those first few months. If you're still reading, thanks. It will be tough, but it will also be wonderful. And if you make a few mistakes, don't worry. Your baby doesn't know you haven't done this before. He/she's brand new at this too. Be as patient with yourself as you are with your child. They aren't going to be in therapy one day saying, I think it all stems back to my parents not keeping up with the housekeeping when I was 1 month old. You'll be fine. Reach out if you get stuck. I'm happy to lend an ear. Groundbreaking Big 195 says, I loved this advice. Comforting yet real. Thank you. r/NoStupidQuestions. Irapaninja says, why does the bottom button on a suit exist if you never button the bottom button? Not extinct yet says, well, some button has to be the bottom one. Hydragood says, there was once a fat king. He was so fat he couldn't button the bottom button. Now hundreds of years later it's still fashion. Mrajabrani says, so people who know not to button the bottom button can sneer at the savages who don't know any better. Old and Not Old says, fashion. Why do you have 3 buttons on a jacket cuff? Fashion. Both are holdovers from 18th century fashion. Pope 1701 says, it's for style. Don't ask. Johnny_surfer_dude says, it's therefore when you lose the top one. Realistic_gazelle 611 says, the suits are even cut that if you do close the button it looks really off and disrupts the fit. It not going to change anytime soon. Durus001 says, because if designers removed it, then the next one up would become the bottom button and so on. P. r/NoStupidQuestions. Master_tadpole_6832 says, do you think more people would enjoy their job if they could dress how they want? The only rule is, Don't dress like you're selling ass. I hated having a dress code when I worked retail. The only thing that made going to school tolerable was that we could dress how we wanted, show off our fashion, and see everyone else's fashion. I feel bad for those who have school uniforms. Such a rule seems so stifling. Maybe employees could wear a hat with the store logo or a badge or a lanyard, so customers can tell who works there and who doesn't, but not a full outfit. And Educational Candy 17 says, freedom of expression is part of the reason people like their jobs, but if you're doing work that you hate, or if you hate your coworkers, being able to wear what you want isn't going to fix that either. Wide Race 9 says, I'm the opposite. I freaking love uniforms. The best part of going to school was not having to worry about what to wear tomorrow. Edub Kendo says, I liked having a uniform for work. Then I didn't have to think about what clothes to put on. Stick Off the Track says, show off our fashion and see everyone else's fashion. I suspect might you care about the appearance of clothes more than some people. I do get to wear what I like for work, but my choice is based on comfort, not fashion. I really don't care what anyone else wears either. It's nice no longer having to wear a shirt with a collar, but it's not the biggest factor in how I view my job. Wolfitten says, I wear what I want at work, but I also work on a food assembly line. Ducks and Goats says, honestly depends on if you have money for the clothes or not. r/NoStupidQuestions. Starknaker Dandafraid says, am I the only one seeing the disturbing rise in am I pretty? Subreddits? Not sure if it's the algorithm or what. I don't click on these posts, but I feel like I've seen an abundance of new subreddits pop up in which people are posting pictures asking for validation of their looks. I just seems like a sad trend to me, and I feel for these people's self-esteem. Are others seeing these posts more frequently? Working Finger 3500 says, I think they are 99% people that are advertising their OnlyFans. Yuck_few says, after I muted about 20 of those subs, the algorithm finally got the point. Autopilot_psychonaut says, 22F just curious, teehee. Minami Joe says, it is a narcissistic and materialistic time. Reminds me of the 80s. Younger people who grew into adolescence with social media might see other people's social media and believe that it is reality, or not realize that it is curated and fictional. Maybe it is an out of control feedback loop of mental distress, creating a facade of a perfect life, positively reinforcing the mental pathology, infecting others, and the cycle repeats. I also find it disturbing. Guiver says, back in my day we just used Tornet, but now that's a dating site and they try to get you to pay all the time. Prithian_beacon says, I feel like the Reddit app algorithm goes pretty hard on feeding you new subreddit. When there was that appy protest blackout a couple months ago, there were a lot of weirdo subreddits who didn't go dark rise to the top of the feed. A lot of the Am I Pretty subreddits were in that category. You must have looked at one of the posts, so the Reddit algorithm just assumed you wanted a shit ton more of it. I had the same problem, but I went on a muting spree and haven't had them come back up. r/NoStupidQuestions. Giorginio says, going long periods of time without verbally taking. Have you ever done that? For how long? Is it a bad thing? I mean, long periods of time without opening your mouth to emanate sound to communicate. I don't mean being in a vegetative state where you don't move or do anything. You can still move, swim at the lake, read a book, take a shower, watch a show, browse Reddit, text your mom, clean, go jogging at the park, eat, etc. Just no speech coming out of you. What is the longest you have done that? And most important question, do you think it is a bad thing to go long periods, days, like that? I realize I'm becoming that type of person. I live alone and wondering if it's something I should be worried about. I know you guys are not medical doctors, just asking for your opinion on whether you think that is bad. They're all cigar butt says, are you having trouble with other things like sleeping/bathing/eating? In other words, are you depressed? Self-isolation is a very common symptom of clinical depression. What's the rest of your life like? Barky_Bark says, I've gone a full week without verbal contact with anyone while living in the bush and only occasional texts. By like day 3 I definitely started talking to animals and bugs. Canavance says, I used to go months. Chronic alcoholic who lived alone. Hey Fiddle says, I live alone and mostly work from home. Depending on what I'm doing on a given day, I can go a few days without talking out loud to anyone. Usually not more than that, because sooner or later I need to be on a meeting for work, even if I'm not leaving my apartment. Factor in errands and meeting up with friends, and it's rare I go more than 2 to 3 days not talking. But I definitely do have those stretches of silence regularly. Wiffiafbirth 1984 says, I can't stop talking, even when I'm alone. Environmental Coach 64 says, I've gone weeks. I don't think it's bad. Went a whole summer vacation 1 year in college. Did nothing but read and play solo video games. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.